Like, Discord teams a lot of bots to fucking thingy, so... Oh wait, can we even tag in this?
That's wolf commands is unbelievable now.
We're being recorded? Are we making a rap song?
Yes, Jimbo, rap song.
Do I have to wear gold chains?
No.
The gold chains are optional, but we do require everyone to get at least 3 gold teeth anywhere in your mouth.
Alright, what about the bitches and hoes?
No, those are complimentary. I'll supply those.
Ida,
Okay, good.
the horse is here.
The who?
The
The
what?
horse is here.
Why is the horse here? Why'd you bring a horse?
What horse?
If anything, I will take care of the horse.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, that sounds wrong. But anyway, welcome to the first episode of the 5150s, everyone.
We're starting off on a great note. It
We
lets
have-
you know
we
the
have the-
fucking
we have-
pace.
The racist Marine.
Why? Hello.
We have the enigma that is Aiden.
Hey!
We have the fat gay guy that won't shut his mouth, that's me. And today we have 2 guests. Bonk Bonk. And the racist Gypsy.
Oh no, Jimbo's here, not
manager.
Bonk Bonk. Bonk
Jimbo.
Bonk would be a terrible guest.
Yeah, so, correction. We have Jimbo and the racist Gypsy.
Is this a podcast?
All of a sudden he's Irish now.
Is this...
Welcome to the 5150s, everyone. I really hope this goes well.
We're trying to start a podcast. Yes, Jimbo.
Let me tell you about the time I got my arm stuck in the carbine harvester. Man, to tell you what, I had to drop that off real quick.
The harvester or the arm?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I just cut something off.
That voice, it seems like you've been stuck in the milking machine too, huh?
Wait,
So-
what kind of milking machine do you use?
Not again.
Have I ever told you about the first time I shaved my pubes?
That is not where we are starting. Holy fuck.
Hey, I'm doing a genuine drink already. Okay, nice.
So yeah, pubic hair about that.
I get paid for this?
Oh, fuck.
Do I get paid for this?
This is not gonna go well, is it?
Dude, hey, I ain't even gonna lie though. Like, it took me a while to actually start shaving that because I was like, do I really care enough? Like, I don't have to deal with it. Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, I did it like 3 times, and then I just said, I did it like 3 times, and then I just said, fuck it, why do I care?
Maidenless?
Oh, not
you
my
ever
area.
nick 'em?
Oh, constantly. Constantly when I was shaving, I nicked them. That hurt like a bitch.
Never actually done that.
And then the fucking the scratchy
Really?
feeling you get for the next, like, week and a half. Oh, God.
I have
No.
never nicked myself while shaving.
Oh, dude, it's worse than getting it caught in the zipper.
That's never
Yeah.
happened to me either, thankful enough. That's one of my greatest fucking fears. I literally make sure that shit's tucked in tight. I may as well strap a seatbelt on that motherfucker when I'm doing a zip up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hey, why do you wear 2 belts? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh,
He's got the Velcro
God.
strap.
So
I
what's
feel like that was-
everybody doing right about now? I'm in a private session with Mr. Kane over here. I'm just kind of doing a bunch of random dumb shit. You want to?
I'm walking
Couple
around
Kyles.
talking to animals in Africa.
It is up to you. Right now, I'm just happy driving around and drinking brandy at the same time, seeing how fucked up I can get before I feasibly cannot drive in GTA.
Rah.
Fair enough. Rah. And
I'm
now it's
walking
time for
around.
okay. And now it's
Talking.
time for Tales of a Combat Medic, where the racist
No,
ex-marine
motherfucker,
tells us
I told
Tales
you
of a
no.
Combat Medic.
I strictly told you fucking no.
Okay, definitely need to ask something. You're a racist, right?
And
you
that
were a
was, and that
racist.
was Tales of a Combat Medic for this week.
I'm not.
Join us next
I'm
week, where
not.
hopefully he'll tell us a story.
I'm not a racist. I just
Okay.
make some jokes that people might not like.
That's why
Okay,
this...
but let's say if a white soldier got shot and a black soldier got
Oh,
shot, who
no.
you running to first?
No.
Well, it depends on the injuries.
Off the same.
Both the exact same.
Off the
Yes.
exact same.
What the fuck?
Everything-
How,
okay,
how are you going?
Only you.
No.
Where are
Everything
they
is
in relation to me?
Okay. They are both equidistant from you.
Yes. Let's say they're both 50 feet exactly from you. Both just
Whoever
got shot
went
in the
down
fucking
first.
ass.
No, they both went down at the exact same time. They had the exact same injury. They're exactly 50 feet away from you in opposing
but-
directions. Who
But
are you running to
realistically, that
first?
wouldn't happen.
I'm going to the first
Realistically,
one I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Well, what if
Whoever
it's
I look
nighttime?
at first.
Only thing
Whoever
you
I
can
look
really
at
see is
first.
two teeth and like some teeth and eyes at night. So
What? Is that about the same thing here?
Well, sucks for him then. I guess I'm going with the white guy.
So how many drinks have you had tonight, Kane?
not many.
How many is
Yeah.
not many?
Well, I only
12.
just really started, so
Fair enough. Don't mind me, I'm fucking sick today.
I'm sick too.
That's why this podcast
Goddamn
was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
No.
Fuck
Shut
no.
the fuck
You ain't
up.
shouting no one out
Shut
unless
the
they're giving
fuck
us money.
Shut the fuck up.
You're right. This is sponsored by.
this is
Yes.
sponsored by.
This podcast was sponsored by Oxygen. It keeps us alive.
This podcast is sponsored by Nigerian Warlord.
No, we
For-
could do a shout out though.
Verb
We can do a
subscription
shout out.
send.
What are we shouting out today?
Where are we all? Like, where did we all meet?
I saw MB's number on a bathroom toilet.
Okay,
So.
now recently, what
you
server
were-
are we all using?
Alright. This week we're gonna shout out Long Beach RP. Long Beach RP. Join the Discord, regret it, and then maybe stay. Long Beach RP.
God damn!
That sounds
All right.
interesting. I'm gonna go make a new account just to join again.
Sorry, that is the best recruitment I've ever heard. Join it, regret it, then maybe stay. That should be the
Hey.
fucking military recruitment. That should be the fucking, because the first 5 minutes you're like, wow, fuck this shit, and then you're like, yeah, I'm already here. Fuck it. Wow.
This week, we're also shouting out the U.S. Navy. The U.S. Navy. The Marines are our department of them, so all Marines are technically sailors. Fuck you.
No.
All Marines are
You're gonna
technically
piss off a
squids.
lot more people than that.
All Marines are technically seamen. Deal with it. The U.S. Navy. Join it,
Except,
regret it, be gay, and decide to stay because you're gay.
no,
US Navy.
except we're the seamen that actually get to the egg. All the rest of the Navy are just the ones that fucking get lost in the vagina. Or spit back out.
Oh, that was fucking violent. That was violently wrong.
I told you, I don't fucking... I'm not gonna be politically correct. Fuck it.
Oh, I know you're not. You're the racist ex-Marine. I would not expect you to be
So does that
politically correct.
technically mean that if you're in the Navy and you join the Navy and you're not in the Marines, you were just the spunk stain that made it?
Yep.
No, you're the cum stain on the Las Vegas fucking bachelor pad.
Yeah, that just about
So,
scraped
Guy,
its way. to
what
the
animals are you visiting right about now?
Oh, I just walked past the manatees and I'm gonna go say hi to the wolves.
Ah,
What
fun.
kind of high?
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, real life
Mm.
or in game? What are you doing?
No, real life.
Oh, straight
No,
up.
the wolves are terrifying because they have a light on the outside, obviously facing the road. And so it's pitch black and I cannot see them ever and they know it. So they'll come up to the fence line and they'll start shuffling their feet and making noise right by the fence. Oh, it's
So you think
terrifying.
they're outside the fence?
Yeah.
What happened if one
And then
day
you see them and I like,
you passed the fence
Oh.
and you never heard that sound? If you heard that for one day.
I would be more worried.
Yeah, you'd be like.
I'd be like, hold on.
No. one day you walk by the fence and the shuffling is suddenly closer than it ever
It
was.
just never shuffles. It's just right behind you.
No, you can, it's like shuffling
you-
the leaves on the concrete. You're like, wait a minute.
No, you hear the fence rattle, and all of a sudden the shuffling gets closer.
No, you see, that's the thing. They won't. It's not the one you see, it's the one that you don't. So they'd be shuffling, and then all of a sudden the one from the left is going to come out of nowhere, and they're going to be like, I got your ass, bitch.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's just gonna, out of the blue, from left flank, just get bit in the ass.
What do you feel like that?
What are you doing right about now, Jimbo? Anything interesting?
He's Jimboing over there.
Thinking of an idea.
Listen, we're probably the least interesting people in the
And you
world,
think-
but whenever we get lost in conversation, shit goes sideways, and that's when it gets funny.
That's when stuff goes funny.
I throw in a horror.
Yeah.
What about
Like a horror.
what about those topics that you wrote down for us to discuss there,
I really
Mr. Guy?
didn't have much, but the war in Ukraine obviously is a big one.
yes.
The Crimea. What is it? The Crimea Bridge got blown up.
Yes.
So they're saying it was a truck bomb. Like I think everybody is pretty much set on the fact that it was a vehicle-borne explosive or something that was on top of the bridge.
Much like the Oklahoma City bombing.
No, motherfucker. Well, yes, it was in a car, but this is a bridge, not a building.
Same.
Potato.
Hey, same, but different.
Everybody's still fucking arguing about the fact whether it was Russia or Ukraine.
I think Ukraine.
Who do you think
It was Russia.
Ukraine.
Honestly, it was Russia.
Honestly, I don't care about your opinion. I mean, yeah, Russia.
Well, no,
Well,
look.
Ukraine's not going to blow up their own territory.
It was Russian territory, though. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was gonna say technically
they
Russians
would.
done that
Okay.
before. They burned down their own houses, so soldiers cannot live in them, right? But I'm not
so
wrong.
if you're saying it's
But I'm
Russia,
not wrong.
if you're saying it's Russia, look at Russia's response though.
Right.
This happened, and then they just fucking sent like something like 60 missiles into Kiev. So you think Russia went down there, blew up their own bridge that was their own retreat route, if anything is to happen, and then fucking leveled the city with bombs?
Oh yeah.
In response to the explosion?
Yeah, it's totally
Isn't that how they do it down there?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm open to anything because
That's the-
I've
that's
talked
wrong.
about
They-
my.
Do something, respond, and then do something on Ukraine.
I mean,
Okay, but what I've seen too is I'm almost worried if this is the first step of what I've said. Because I think I've told like Aiden and maybe someone else my thought about the whole war is, and I've explained it. So shrink it down to like a town or an outpost or something, right? Shrink it down to size for a little bit. Think of smaller unit tactics. If you were going to assault this town and try to push everybody out or conquer the town, you're not going to send an all-out force right in the first day. Have they in the past? Yeah, but it was a
No.
different time. Yes, Russia, Germany, Blitzkrieg,
Yep.
stuff like that. Does it work at times? Yes. But there's different things that have to work just right. The technology
about it.
wasn't quite there. Shoulder fire weapons weren't what
tactic
they are now.
For 200 years, the Russian tactic for 200 years has been enough people at the bullets. Eventually, they'll run out of bullets. And right now, Ukraine is heavily running out of bullets. And
But
Russia
look at the numbers too.
has not yet
That's-
run out of people.
That's what I'm saying though. Look at the numbers. Those numbers are not what you'd expect from an all-out assault. They're what you'd expect from a normal push. Yeah, an advance. Yeah, the casualties are going to be higher, but it's not an invasion size. For what Ukraine is saying they're doing, the Russian casualties are a lot lower than what they should be, I think. But my whole thing is, you're going to send scouts, right? You're going to send little probes, see how far in they can get before they get spotted, before they get stopped. Poke and prod at them a little bit. Find out how they're going to react. Watch their defensive strategies. Hey, if I shoot here, what's going to happen? Okay, these guys are all going to come over from these areas to help them, whatever. You watch what they do, right? You see who there's going to get support from. Hey, another outpost, 50 miles away, send them some support.
All right.
Then you pull back, you regroup, and then you fucking hit them with your main attack at their weakest point. But look at all the information Russia's gained in the past year, right? Nobody thought shoulder fire weapons were going to be a huge player. They turned out to be the biggest player. Everyone thought with a bunch of armor and tanks that they were just going to walk right through. They didn't. They couldn't even keep their trucks fueled. So Russia found out they're gonna have a supply problem. Like,
And now they're having a people
so they're
problem.
figuring all this out.
Russians are flocking
But look at them.
out by the tens of thousands. Planes are booked
will do
for
that.
months out.
That's what they're
Trains are
reporting.
booked for months out. They're flocking out by the thousands.
That's what they're reporting. That's what's getting reported, though. You gotta remember. I take everything from like news reports, and depending on what it is and what station it's from, obviously they want to exemplify and amplify what's really going on. So if they say, "Hey, 1 million people are leaving," realistically, I could see about 250,000 people leaving. Is that still a lot? Yes, but you gotta take it with a grain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you also got to think it's the Russian government. They're canceling these trains and these planes out of the country.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be drafted if they want to draft. But could that also be a play? Because Putin's a smart guy. You got to think to get to where
He
he's
is.
at, how he did. He is smart. So then play into it, right? Oh, look at all these Western fucking news medias are saying we're losing the war. Hey, make them think we're losing. Let them think that we're in desperate needs. Let's send out fucking, hey, all of our trains are booked. Oh no, fucking people are running. When really he's just moving all of his. He's got the entire world looking at his country, his troop numbers, his citizens. Nobody's looking at the front lines anymore. Where'd that 40-mile convoy go? Where'd all his armor go? Next thing we know, Kiev gets leveled with missiles. Look how close they got. I guarantee you that's going to be the first city to fall if they reattack. They're going to push Kiev. They've got all the troops in the southern region right now.
Here's
If
my
he's
thing about
fucking
Kiev.
wagon wheeling around,
He's
there's nobody up there to defend it.
He's gonna wagon wheel around. But here's my thing about Kiev. You gotta admit, President Zelensky is a ballsy mother. That motherfucker's got more balls than any man on earth will ever fucking have. That fucker's got
His name
bigger
is
balls.
Zaddy, to be clear. Zaddy Zelensky.
Yeah, Zaddy Zelensky has got more fucking balls than Putin. That motherfucker has stayed in country the whole time while his capital
got
city
balls.
is being bombed around him.
Okay, but he's got balls. Does he have brains?
He does.
Balls are great. Balls are great, but can you outsmart probably one of the smartest people in the world right now
He does.
when it comes to
Because think
military
about it-
tactics and stuff?
Think about it this way. He knows exactly when he needs to run. He knows exactly when he needs to fight. If it came down to it and they pushed Kiev, I don't doubt that Zelensky himself would grab a fucking rifle and fight.
And that's the wrong choice.
That's way
Is
the
it
wrong choice.
It is.
Tactically,
I see
that's
where
the
you.
wrong choice.
Is
I
it
see
though?
where you're coming from like, hey, that would be awesome. That'd be a morale booster. Yes, but think in combat, it takes a split second. A split second, and everything changes. One shell lands too close. One round ricochets the wrong way, and he's dead. You think that's going to be a morale hitter?
Yeah.
He can't risk that. The way he sits right now and the way these people hold him, he cannot risk that. And the fact that he stayed in Kiev as long as he did already shows the fact that he's not willing to stand up and say, okay, I mean more to them than just being here. Because look at the last push. They had Kiev surrounded. They had no way in or out. There were rumors that there were ways in and out. But dude stayed there until they encircled him. What were you planning on doing? Fighting to the last man? Yeah, honorable. Hoorah, go down. But for the rest of the country, you just left him hanging. Fucking shit dry in the air.
Yeah,
So
Zelensky himself, I'm not quite sure what to think of him.
yeah, I think he's a
Really?
great fucking leader. He's the leader Ukraine needed to be. He was in the right spot at the right time for this fucking to go down.
He really was.
But he's gotta sometimes, I guess, put the pride aside when you're in that position.
Yeah. I think so too.
No, I think a lot of people would disagree with me, and they're saying, "Oh no, he's gonna fucking. That's the right call." It's personal,
Hey, that guy.
but
Of course. A lot of things are personal.
Hey, that guy.
What's up?
Shane, what's your opinion on the whole thing?
What whole thing? I went to the restroom.
The whole Ukrainian war. What's your opinion on this whole thing? Russia's current disinformation tactics and the lot.
Honestly, all Russia's trying to do is just put up the Iron Curtain again, since, a lot of the land was Russia's to begin with. But in a sense, it was only taken over during the Cold War. Ukraine itself has a lot of minerals that Russia could use.
There's been fighting in that region for years, though. Already
With
before this.
multiple different countries. Like, even the French have tried it.
But here's the thing. Does anybody think Russia's stupid enough to actually push that big red nuclear button?
No.
If pushed
Oh,
far
yeah.
enough, if pushed far enough, yes, he will.
Well, he's already said up front, yeah. I think he's stupid enough to do it.
He really wants to push that big red button right over there.
Whether he's bluffing or not, though, you have to take that seriously. Whether he's just
Of
talking out
course.
his ass or not.
And the world is taking it seriously. But think about this. Do you think he's stupid enough to lay a boot in NATO territory?
Ooh.
I think he's either stupid enough or ballsy enough to do it.
Personally, what I see happening is something small is going to get blown up bigger than what it really is. A small, interaction. Maybe two planes see each other and do something stupid, or something
A spark
away
and a
from the
powder
main
keg.
front. Yes. And it's going to get misread by one side or the other. They're going to do something in response that the other person doesn't like. Then they're going to respond to that.
Big game of tip.
And it could kick. Yep.
Well, I will say, if I'm not already in the Navy by the time, if it does happen, if it happens
Alcohol's
that we get to war with Russia, if I'm not already in the Navy by that time, I'm walking into the Army recruiter, slamming my license on the desk, saying 11 Bravo, send me to basic tomorrow.
Do you think the Navy would be as big a player in the
I think
Ukrainian
it
war?
would. I think it would.
Holding
If
the
nothing else, for its air power.
No. You've
People
also
don't think of the Navy as
No,
having
air would not
a
be
big
able to
Navy.
enter.
No,
power.
I think he's got a point there. I think the only reason Navy would really be involved would be station carriers off the coast to launch strike missions, kind of like they did in Iraq.
But here's the thing:
Yeah.
only that
do carriers have a place in the modern world? Do they? I don't think
But-
they do.
have some really nice battleships. Let's think about
We
this
do.
from an artillery standpoint.
Yep,
Guys,
that's
easily demolish any outpost. If you had the fucking coordinates, you can just drop a bunker buster onto someone who's underground. Be honest.
Right.
But you got to think too.
And again, how well did the bunker busters work against the Japs in World War II?
We didn't have them back then.
You didn't have them back then, but what the bunker busters did do in Iraq was, well, when they were in caves and you guys couldn't get into said caves, there's a shell that, when it hits, it's not necessarily the blast that kills you, it's actually the fucking, what is it? It's meant to be like,
Deprivation of oxygen.
that's the fucker.
Yeah,
Deprivation.
it's meant to crumble.
Yeah,
It's meant to fall apart and slowly kill you.
that's the one.
No, I thought
So-
it sucked the oxygen out of the air. So it hits the cave and then it pretty much sucks
Well, the
all the
thing-
oxygen out.
Well, that's what what happens is it hits everything inside, kind of like the ends crumble, and then you slowly, the oxygen goes out, and as long as you keep breathing it in, it slowly loses over time, and then death.
Oh goddamn.
It's a very slow and painful death.
Pretty
But
slow,
now
but
from a-
useful thing to do.
From a larger
Oh,
United States standpoint, the western coast, I think, of Russia, or the eastern coast, eastern coast, I think would be fairly simple. There's not very many civilization. There's more military only over there, so it'd kind of be easier to take over, less ROE, rules of engagement. But you can't put too many assets in one small location like the Black Sea. You're making a big target, right? You put two, 3 carrier fleets in that small of a location, I guarantee you that red button's going to be pushed because that is a target I wouldn't pass up.
Yeah, you'd have to divvy up your ships properly and
I
figure
think
out a way
even
to where
one
you can
carrier
be
fleet in the
noticed.
Black Sea would warrant the button getting pushed.
No, one carrier fleet would be, I think, is what they would go for. And then they'd rotate them out on like 3-month rotation. So you go in 3 months, you're doing strike missions, doing whatever. You come out, we send in the next one
So,
for maintenance
constant.
reasons and logistical. And
Plus, let's be honest, your navy does really good supply routes.
oh yeah,
Your navy
We
would
do,
definitely
but like
be
I
used
said,
for supplies.
like I asked, do the World War II era carriers have a place in the modern battlefield?
Yes, they
I don't
do.
think they do.
A lot of them,
No.
yeah.
World War II carriers.
World War
We're
One.
still using pretty much the same designs for carriers that we've been using since World War II.
If
Not
you're
much
talking
is
general design, yes, but I'm talking like the deck. A World War II carrier didn't have catapults or a catch system. Well, it had a catch system, but very
Most
primitive.
World War II carriers now, like they didn't have much as our newer carriers.
Plus
Right,
the
but
especially
warning
now
the
with
system
newer
our
and radar.
don't have as
Yeah.
much of a place anymore. All you're doing when you send out a carrier is saying, "Look at me, I got a big
Well,
red
the thing
target.
is,
I got a big
the
fucking
carrier can
target on my
carry
back. Look at me."
the
It's what
carrier.
comes
The
with
carrier
it.
can, yeah. Your carrier can carry so much artillery at one point. It can carry good amount of planes, depending on what you carry with the planes, and then
Right.
probably a couple of helicopters, maybe if
Let's
you
put it
wanted to
this way.
do runs.
I got a good analogy for it. The mailman, right? We'll think of that as like a destroyer. Can give you constant stuff, just daily, general, common stuff that you can get pretty much anywhere. Carrier is like the UPS. He's going to bring those big special packages that you request, and it's going to come at a specific time, and it's going to go right where you need it to, right? Carriers come with, what do they come with? A carrier fleet, right? So if you send a carrier, you're not just sending the aircrafts on the carrier in the ship. You're sending the Ticonderogas that go with her. What, there's 3 or 4 of them, fucking blistered with I think 64 vertical launch tubes. So they have like 64 cruise missiles or SA-2s. You got the destroyers, the cruisers are the Ticonderoga. Usually, if you're going to be at wartime, you're probably going to have a sub or 2 with you.
Then you've
You're going
got
to
the
have all these
then you've
supply
got the
ships.
resupply ship.
No.
At least
So
one.
when you're sending a carrier, you're not just sending one ship. You're sending a fucking
Right.
village.
But putting
You're sending
all
a
of
city.
those, you put all those ships in one place. That's painting an even bigger target. Think about it.
It's a
You
Yeah, but the
target,
thing is,
but it's a
that's
well defended
one.
target.
You put
Yeah, but
10,
that's
12
still one
ships
carrier.
all in one
That's
spot.
that's one carrier and its fleet. If you send 3 carriers and 3 fleets, that's a bigger target than just one carrier and one fleet.
Yeah.
Right, but you're
And
still putting a
usually, if you're
massive
sending them
target,
like that,
and
but usually if you send them like
you
that,
are
it's
risking the
one.
lives with one carrier fleet. You're risking the lives of what, 500,000 sailors and marines at
No.
once.
Well, I'd say closer to
I'm a
100. No, carriers only carry
carrier.
like 5,000.
Yeah,
And that's
carriers
your
carry like
fleet.
5,000. Like normal ship, like battleship, usually at least 100. At least.
No, I'd say
So-
like 200 to 300 for like a bigger ship, and then
Yeah.
your destroyers and stuff usually like 150 to 200. So
So
Yeah.
here's
Actually,
one
hold on.
for
Let me
you
Google
guys.
this.
Here's one for you. You're talking about World War II stuff going on. Do you, if NATO steps in, do you guys think that you're gonna lean towards the mob, like the American themselves, because they did lean towards the mob during World War II and won, protect the docks, and when you guys were rolling through Sicily, a lot of the people that were getting your supplies were mafia, were smuggling it in trade
Okay.
routes.
Yeah, guy,
I
you
mean,
were
I
right.
think you have to.
About 7,500 personnel with a CSG. So, still, that's 7,500 people you're risking the lives of with one carrier strike group.
Hey,
We go to
to-
war with Russia. We've got what?
If you want to see like
six
exactly
go
what,
out at once.
but hey, if you want to see what a carrier group can do against like a full blown attack, look up Grim Reapers on Facebook, and he does like simulated battles in DCS where it's like a Chinese fleet attacks a US fleet or Russian fleet, and you can see like the amount of fire these fleets can put down, and it's not just the carrier at a center and you just have to get there. You've got the carrier, then you've got an inner ring that's like 10 miles away from the carrier, then you have an outer ring that's even farther from that, and you have to get pretty much 50 miles of just pure hell to even get a shot on the fucking carrier.
During like World War II with our navies, it was basically aircraft taking out our navy and submarines taking out our navy. Other ships,
But-
they were getting close, but we were taking out more of them than they were of us.
But I'm saying even now, like even if
But
they launch missiles
Midway.
from land,
You
we
want
have
to take
missiles
about
that
more
can
of them
hit
than more of
missiles.
us. Look at Midway. Look at
Hold
what
on, I want to
Midway.
go back to the other. Hold on, I want to go back to that other question because that was a good question. Would we use the mobs? I want to say yes because you always use local resources to benefit yourself. Look at our Afghanistan, Iraq. We used local tribes and local militiamen to help us.
Because let's think about
Right.
this. I'm looking at a map right now. Got your Romanian mob, you've got your Slovakian mob, you've got your Polish mob, you've got your Belarusian mob. Over here, you've even got on the other side, underneath them, just across the pond, you've got your Turkish mobs, which there is actually mobs in Turkey which actually deal with trading.
I
in
think they're
humans.
going to make a lot of money off of this either way because regardless,
Even in
anybody's going to
Russia.
have to use them.
Even in Russia itself, you've got a whole fucking resistance against its own government and train like the Spetsnaz. They light each other on fire and roll it out.
Oh, I guarantee you they have CIA backing.
Yeah, like, let's be honest with this. Like, they were trained
Minimum.
by, like, a lot of them are ex-army too, and they saw corruption and were like, I'm gonna leave before it gets too, I get too into it. I've watched countless videos, read countless books, on this exact, like, thing, like, where mobs and mob-controlled areas have helped a military. Even when we were facing the Germans as a group, there were so many different mobs that were getting bankrolled from governments just to smuggle things in.
Well, think about, I mean, any
Here's a
war
question,
really, or
guys.
any, hold on,
War
any
pops
like
up?
conflict. Hold on, because everybody starts out as a mob or a gang, right?
Yeah.
Everybody did. America started out as a gang. We started out as a bunch of dudes in a bar that didn't like fucking being told what to do.
Uh-huh.
And then America was born. We were a mob at first. So I think, like, right now, if you look at all the mobs and the gangs that are in that region, they're gonna have to be utilized because they know all the routes that the regular governments don't see. They know all those back doors that are gonna help them. Regardless of if they want to admit it or not, they're gonna be working with them for sure.
Yeah, someone's gonna get paid off here, and someone's gonna end up saying, "You go here and make sure that if a dude in green comes along, don't shoot at him."
That, and even to get, like, find people.
True, because
I guarantee you, like, half those mobs are talking to the Russian mobs still. 100%. They've got business dealings they can't give up. So they say, hey, I heard this dude's going to be in this hotel next week. Like, let someone know, you know?
which I agree, and I'm
Here's
glad
the
that
question,
someone
guys.
actually thinks the same as me, that there will be greasing of palms.
I agree with you 100%. Two questions, guys. Same vein. Knowing what you know about your life now, go back to the day you signed that paper. Are you signing it?
This is an interesting one. I would say not that day, but I would still sign. I would
Okay.
have given myself like an extra year or two to kind of
Mentally
I don't know.
prepare.
Really double
Yeah.
check? All right.
mentally, no, not double check, but like mentally prepare and kind of grow before I go in. So kind of realize
Okay.
what the real world is like and then go in, because I literally, I went from high school, 15 days later I was in boot camp. I didn't experience real life until I was in the fucking military.
Okay. Follow-up question.
So I would have waited, but
War breaks out with Russia. Are you going back?
not to the military.
Would you, given the chance, go to Ukraine right now as a civilian combat
Yes.
trained medic?
Yes. I've already tried.
So why haven't you?
There's a lot more than plays into it than I want to.
All right.
You really think it's as easy as, hey, I'm gonna hop on a plane, I'll be in Ukraine next week? Like, no, dude. With all the sanctions and all like the restrictions and shit, it's hard enough just getting a flight to Europe.
Yeah. Actually,
Plus, then to get into
same-
Ukraine, you have to have a visa and stuff from Ukraine saying you're allowed to come
COVID.
in.
yeah. Same question for all of you. War breaks out with Russia tomorrow. Who's going to their local recruiters and signing the paper?
Sign me up. Let's have a fucking giggle.
Aiden?
I
Said it for a long time.
I would advise against it.
Jimbo?
If I
Because-
did, I would just be a mechanic. I want to be a
Jimbo?
bottle. But
There's different things you could do for war. I say I would probably not.
Okay, in any regard, war breaks out tomorrow. Are you going to go to your local recruiters, pick a branch, and say, I want to do this job? Regardless of the job, are you signing that paper?
no.
Okay, hey, this might sound like the coward answer or the cowardly answer, and people might hate me for it. But what I personally would do with experience, wait, right? That initial recruitment's coming, that initial assault, right? D-Day's coming, right? High casualties. Let the first wave pass, enlist, go in when they know what they're doing, when they have an actual plan, when they have competent leaders in place, because they've already had that trial run.
Question. If war breaks out, do you think we're going to go back to the draft?
No.
Why not?
I think we'll have enough volunteers that we won't need it.
Really?
Mhm.
Even with what Gen Z is now? Because
No.
as a Gen Z, as a fucking 19-year-old myself, with what my generation is, you're not getting volunteers out of us.
There's two sides to every fight. You have your side that won't enlist, but there's another half of the country that will fucking enlist before you ask them. They'll be
Oh,
like, hey, war broke out. And they'll be like, all right, where's my boots? Where's my hat?
Urban
Like,
versus
what's up?
rural people. That's how I see it.
oh yeah. Same here. But, alright.
So I think with what we have already in place and with what would come from just general recruitment, I don't think we would need a draft.
Alright.
No, you.
And if the casualty rate got to the point where we needed a draft, the public backing wouldn't be there to support it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Alright, Kane. As the resident Brit, you think England's going to go with a draft, or you think they're just going to try to get with the general recruitment?
Well, with how many people are actually.
Because I know there's a lot of ex-military Brits over in Ukraine already.
Uh-huh. But they went over when
So-
they went over when the fireworks started going off. It was before all the sanctions and shit. As soon as they heard that there was gonna be another fucking world war, a lot of our, let's put it to, like, it's not necessarily like, I don't want to sound mean, but they just went over too early. Caused a lot more problems than they were trying to solve, because then there was a big thing with you guys and NATO, because they thought that we were sending in, like, actual soldiers, and we were like, no, these motherfuckers just hop, skipped, and jumped over there on their own fucking backs.
Yeah.
And
I heard a few stories from guys over there that they had worn their country patch and they had very strictly been informed that you cannot wear that.
yeah, if you're
fighting, wear the Ukraine.
yeah, pretty much, if you're gonna fight, you have to wear their patch.
And I mean, for good reason too, so that way their guys
Yeah.
don't shoot you.
Exactly,
Right.
because a lot of them went over in their fucking British BDUs, and it was like, well, you're not wearing anything that they're wearing, so I can only imagine that it's going to be a pain in the ass to, try and figure out who's who.
And then you got fucking word coming that Russia was using contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you really don't know who to trust except for your uniform. So no, I know a lot of guys who were over there that had said it was becoming a real issue, that people were just coming from everywhere to help them. Great, but it was just confusing the fuck, because one dude said he had like 15 different languages in one like little platoon,
Yeah, I seen that.
because they just grabbed everybody, threw them in a group, and said, "All right, you guys are fighting together." And this is what I was saying earlier.
Good luck with the language barrier.
Will say though,
But this comes back to the initial thing I said. That initial push is going to be so hectic because no one really knows what to do. You got to give it a little bit, let them figure it out, then join.
Will say.
So how long,
there's been
Guy?
some-
How long would you recommend you give it before somebody goes and signs that paper?
There's no set time. Every war is different. Every battle is going to take its own time.
Okay.
Will say though, there has been some funny fucking videos coming out of Ukraine.
Oh,
of
fuck
course.
yeah.
Like I have
Tractors
Oh,
driving
dude.
tanks into lakes. That was hilarious.
no.
I'm not even fucking lying. I got a video from my buddy, and he goes, "Yo, check this
Drones
out."
blowing up the
And it
convoys,
was
man.
one that he took. And then, like, a few days later, I see this shit on fucking TikTok or something, and I'm like, hey.
I'm not gonna lie.
That is one thing that I think will be.
Here's the
Oh, there
thing,
you go.
Guy. Do you guys
Hold
have
on.
steady contact with? Do you have steady
No,
contact with your
no.
friends?
No.
How bad is it?
Intermittent. Could be every few days. Could be a week or two.
Have you seen the video where they're sat there
Are
in a
you-
trench listening to "I'm a Barbie Girl"? You hear a gunshot off in the distance, and one of them just screams RPG, and the fucking dude walks in from behind him, singing "I'm a Barbie Girl," just pokes the fucking RPG over the trench and goes poof. It fucking does. It's like, oh, so it's that type of war. Okay.
Now, there's a good question, though. Do you think social media is going to help war in itself? Or do you think it's going to hurt it? Because right now
I
we're seeing a
think
lot of the
social
funny
media-
stuff to come out of it.
I think social media is helping this war, helping the world truly know what it is like on the front lines, because obviously disinformation is coming from both sides. So we don't know
But do
what
they
to
really?
trust, except for what's coming straight from the front lines.
And now, like we were just talking about that, do they really know what it's like? Because we're talking about videos of them dancing in a trench singing Barbie Girl. Like, that's the fun
Right.
times. That's the times you like and you remember. But there's times that you don't want to record it. Like,
Yeah, there's times
Yeah.
definitely where you'll
But
watch
I
a
think the
friend
world
die.
needs to.
Yeah.
I think
So
the world needs to see the gruesome parts that nobody wants to record. I think the world needs to see it.
But then, do you think people are strong enough to understand it? Like, do you think people are strong enough to look at that kind of stuff? Because most people see that and they're never going to sleep again.
I think
Most
the
people
human.
just mentally can.
I think the human race is resilient enough to look at that and go, "Oh, okay, I see what's going on here."
Like, I want to see on NBC News some dude fucking standing there and just take a 5.56 to the face, and I want to see how the world reacts.
I agree with you on that. Like, the world needs a good dose. Like, it needs a good dose of, hey, this is what it's like in reality. If you,
I think the perfect video, it comes from Afghanistan, I want to say, but they fucking kicked a door down into a building, and they're going through, and you can literally see the dude in the doorway raising the AK and fucking taking shots at him, and you see the dude go down and take rounds. They go up, they clear him, and then they're still getting shot at. Like, that's a video they need to see. That's what fucking war is.
is it the one where, by any chance are you going on about the video where it says when the Doom music kicks in, and you hear him actually snap back into, like, reality for a second? After being...
There's a whole bunch of edits to it
Yeah.
now. It's an older video,
Gets
but
hit in the
yeah,
chest
dude
twice.
fucking kicks the door down. Yep.
Yep.
Fucking, yep, gets hit twice. He's fucking putting rounds. You see the dust coming off the walls of rounds and shit. He just, like, dips into another room.
Yeah, there's like a fucking
Gets back to his
fridge and
feet,
shit.
fucking opens a door, RPG comes flying fucking out of it, and it's like, that. If you can sit there and watch that in peace, something's fucked up with you. Because even I was sitting there fucking going, oh my god, go, go. Like,
What's the old saying? Fucking a pistol to defend yourself, a revolver, no, it's something stupid. A knife to defend yourself, a pistol to hurt someone, and a shotgun to rip pieces off said person or some shit like that. It's like, it's not.
to remove body
Yeah,
parts.
that's it.
What's the one with the gauges? It's like 22 for home defense, 9 mil because fuck you, 50 cal because fuck you, fuck the neighbor's dog sitting behind the fridge. Like,
Yeah. And 12 gauge because fuck you and everyone 10 feet around you.
It depends what bill you got on it. And what you're shooting. Yeah, I seen some dude shooting chain the other day. I was like, yeah, that's kind of fucking.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
fucked.
I wonder if you can shoot barbed wire out of a 12 gauge.
Oh, I bet if a motherfucker can shoot Legos out of a fucking 12 gauge, you can shoot fucking anything out of a 12 gauge.
I don't know. It depends on the barbs. They'd have to be small enough to actually fit in there.
You saying barbs?
Barbed wire.
Yeah, so
like
it'd be like a
Here's
like
the
a
question,
laser
though,
wire.
guy.
machete shot then.
Oh, can you imagine? Bro, I'm gonna fucking put a Jesus crown on you. You don't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like honestly, I'm gonna make you look like you're at the Last Supper, motherfucker, as you open the door.
As you just fucking rack the shotgun. Like, what do you mean?
Oh shit.
Didn't move quick enough, boy.
Sir, I only asked you for directions, and I said go back where you came, Pilgrim.
Do you think that would take the top of their head off?
I
Like,
think
would
it would
scalp them like an
about
Indian?
an inch in. I think it would definitely take off some scalp, but it wouldn't fully scalp them.
That fuck.
But
Jimbo's just sitting here like, what did I join?
Because what you've got to think,
in a bit of a
you've got to think with
different
that one.
news.
Sorry, what you've got to think with that one is once it hits, you've got to really, really be quick on the next shot. Because it's not going to do that much damage.
It's gonna stun them, but
here's the question, though. Could you get... could you, in theory,
hard
get
while I do it?
Steelcase
Yes.
12 gauge?
Did you get what, 12 gauge?
Steelcase 12 gauge rounds, because in theory that would be the only thing strong enough to survive the barbed wire.
Well, in a sense.
What if you get lead balls?
In a sense, you wouldn't need
Consider it
steel.
12
You could
gauge
use
shotgun.
polymer.
Go back to lead poisoning. Go back to
That's what I'm saying.
caliber ball.
Yeah, little like mini balls.
On the
but lead.
topic of all this, shit. If money was no object, if money and laws were no object, what is your ideal firearms everyday carry?
Ooh,
44 Magnum revolver.
You said 44?
classic. Okay.
Why? Why?
Why? Because I can obliterate anyone in the face and I can shoot through an engine
says
block.
power.
Trust me, it's been tested.
See, I'm
Alright,
conflicted with
Kai?
that one because
Come back to you?
the old soul in me wants to go 1911,
Okay.
but I like the new SIGs, like their compact or their compact
Ooh,
handguns,
some of the new things are pretty good.
or H&K. H&K makes
You're in cop.
H&K is always a H&K is always a reliable
That was
name.
a good one.
Yeah.
Jimbo. Money and laws no object. Firearms everyday carry. What do you
Every
pick?
day. Well, I could see a deagle.
50 AE. So you want to
Jesus.
break your wrist and deafen
Bunk-
everyone in a
Bunk Bunk
half-mile
has-
radius.
Oh yeah, that's what the
Bunk
head
Bunk's
cannon is
created
for,
deagle.
right?
Here, I'm gonna post a
I know
picture of mine.
Kane, what about you?
Now, I'm going to choose two. And one's going to
Go
be
ahead.
the 357 for a main. Just a standard
Okay.
Smith & Wesson 357. I might even just go for the 7-cylinder, because you can actually get those.
Oh.
Then for my backup, there's going to be a little 22. Because once I'm done blowing your fucking kneecaps out with the 357, I'm going to sit and play with my food and shoot you in the fucking hand a few times.
Fair enough.
See, that's
For
my
sure.
Love
handgun right there. It's the HK VP 9L.
And let's be honest,
Oh.
no one expects
Couple
you to
of
get
taps.
no one expects to get shot through the pocket with a 22.
Alright.
True.
So for me, I gotta say, I'm gonna get a 1911 in one of those, y'all ever seen them urban carry holsters? It slides into your pant leg.
A concealed carry holster.
So get a 1911 in an urban carry. Have one of them Taurus revolvers chambered in 410 on my leg. Strap
Wait,
that.
we can have multiple?
Strap that. Oh yeah, you can. Strap a Taurus chambered in 410 to my fucking ankle because fuck you and everyone around you. And if I'm traveling with someone, I'm gonna have one of them little compact pussy Glock. I'm gonna have one of them. I'm gonna put one of them compact pussy Glocks on my other
Derringer?
ankle. No, I'm gonna put one of the. No, I'm gonna put one of the compact pussy Glocks on my other ankle in case I'm traveling with somebody. It's like, all right, we get in a situation here. Take this. Stay here. I'm gonna
grab
go
my
shoot a fucker.
flintlock.
Okay, well then I switch my answer. I want that HK and then the MR762, the A1 basically from Hotchkotch.
Okay.
But
That's nice.
if we can have multiple, I'm also gonna go with a, let's say, RPG and a portable GAU 8, if I could.
Right, I'd like one of those too. Even if I had to mount it myself, I'd throw that.
handheld.
I'd throw that. Oh yeah. I'd take one. I'd make it even mount to my truck.
Can you get a person? Can you get a single personal transportable GAU 8?
I
wish.
bet you there's a way. The gun comes
Well,
out of the plane, right?
Well, I did say money.
the gun is the
I did say
plane.
money no. I did say money no object, so that raises the thing that research is no object. So technically, yes, with enough time, you could get a single
I think
personal
you guys are
transportable
missing out
GAU
on the
8.
point here.
Because yeah, wait, what?
And not
What's
grab the
point?
flintlock. Like, go old school.
You know what, bro?
Yeah, make 50 caliber balls.
love
Get the
Hells yeah,
blunderbuss.
get some black powder, firing caps.
I'm gonna get the
Get the
18
cannon.
pounder. I'll be back.
Not gonna lie though.
Yeah.
The backup to your backup's backup would definitely have to be a flintlock. Just that last.
Oh fuck
Right.
yeah! If,
One of them things that won't break for
Yeah,
sure.
like
dude, if it goes that far, they deserve that much of a chance for you to shoot
Like,
that
I'm
flintlock. Like
gonna
50-50.
I'm not gonna lie though. Imagine how fucked off you would be if the powder was wet.
Oh god.
Just not
We're
literally all you're gonna
screwed.
hear is
See, you're thinking of the
all you're
bad.
gonna hear is on guard. Like fuck. Wait there 5-7 minutes depending on how wet the powder is. I need a breather. It's just that.
It's just like, hey, time out
Yeah.
real quick.
Like,
See, I'm thinking-
Listen. I know you have an M16 pointed at me, but give me about 5 seconds. Give me about 5 minutes. I'll be back. I'm gonna go
Hold
try
up,
this
I think
out.
I left my backup in my car. I'll be back.
Yeah, right.
No, see, I'm thinking like, try to go rob somebody. Like you run up to someone on Chicago streets with a flintlock.
wait,
You're like,
I'm gonna send
give me
you
your
to
money.
Davy's locker, yeah?
What the heck?
I'm gonna send
Are
you to
you
Davy's
even?
locker, yeah?
Dude, you would get fucking roasted. They'd be like, I ain't giving you shit,
Pop a
fucking
shot.
no. The fuck, my great grandpa used that shit. The hell, bro?
fucking
You gonna rob
flintlock
me? At
having
least use a
ass.
pink gun. At least then I'd respect you.
Anyway, you know who texted me right now?
Like, let's be fully
Alright,
honest though.
I'm about
Ivan.
to read y'all the greatest copy pasta ever fucking made.
Hold on, I want
That
to know
has-
who fucking messaged Jimbo.
Bro, Lil
Go ahead, Jimbo. Well, I load this.
Lil
this Reddit thread.
JX2, who is the guy for like Coast Guard. He wants me to be the marksman,
Oh.
and I've told him
Yeah,
about the story
hey,
how I
guys,
sniped
stop
you out of a
fucking-
helicopter while in a helicopter.
That fucking shit pissed me off. And I
Got
was so
sniped out of a
impressed.
helicopter in a helicopter.
Alright, so, alright. In the vein of the flintlock, this is the greatest thing, and I aspire to do this one day. Own a musket for home defense, since that's what the founding fathers
Oh
intended.
no, fuck you.
4 ruffians break into my
No.
house. What the devil?
We've
As
all
I
heard
grab
it.
my powdered wig and Kentucky rifle. Blow a golf ball-sized hole through the first man. He's dead on the spot. Draw my pistol on the second man. Miss him entirely because it's smoothbore and nail the neighbor's dog. I have to resort to the cannon mounted at the top of the stairs loaded with grape shot. Tally ho, lads! The grape shot shreds 2 men in the blast. The sound and extra shrapnel set off car alarms. Fix bayonet and charge the last terrified rapscallion. He bleeds out, waiting on the police to arrive, since triangular bayonet wounds are impossible to stitch up, just as the founding fathers intended.
Yo, war crimes. Who's the first to commit them,
Russia.
Russia or Ukraine?
Russia.
I'm gonna
Russia.
definitely say Russia.
Russia.
Russia's
I don't know, cause
already done it.
Russia's
Yeah.
I was gonna say Russia's kind of already done it, but what if Ukraine gets into like Russia-held territory and they find some Russians who are like, "Hey, I surrender." They're just like, "No, no fucking surrender, bitch! Like, look what you done, fucking."
No, no, I don't see them doing that. I see Ukrainians as able to rise above and just go, even though you have committed great atrocities against us, I will hold you with respect
They're gonna hold you
because
in
that's
court.
what
That's
You
what they're
know.
gonna do.
because that's what my
I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, join the Navy. I'm gonna tell you right now, because I guarantee you, most infantrymen and most people who have seen actual combat know the true reality of human beings.
Mhm.
And the true reality is nobody is above anything. We are all pieces of shit that at the end of the day will do whatever we have to
survive.
make ourselves feel good.
Of course.
To survive happily. And when shit's happened to you and you have this image of who did it and this idea of it's just a Russian did it, a Russian, and you find a Russian by himself, you can do anything you want to him. I guarantee you, 90% of people who have been in some shit for a while, like Ukrainians,
World War II.
they're not going to be nice.
Well, actually, I will double down on your theory there with a story from from a friend Tim a friend of mine called Tim who was in the Gulf War, and he heard that his friend's Jeep got burned out by an IED. So he comes under fire, and they're in a building with a gas can and some empty bottles. He proceeds to rip up a shirt and make Molotov cocktails and burn soldiers alive out of their fucking out of whatever hole they were in. He went into detail too about some of the shit, and it was
Yeah.
like, he was like, and I did it all for my friend, and I was like, huh.
And you'll get a justified answer from them 100% of the time. And everybody in that squad, 90% of the time, will back it. Those times you hear of like war crimes going on, there was probably one dude in that fucking group who was like, "Hey, this ain't right." Everybody else was laughing their fucking dicks off. I guarantee it.
Tim
Because that's just
straight
the
up-
reality of human beings.
Tim straight up told me he
That it
done it
is.
with impunity. He said one of them tried to surrender and he got burned alive too. He didn't care. He was like, "Fuck it, you were shooting at me not like 5 minutes ago."
Yeah. And that's not just war. Think about like now, because everything's documented, it's a lot harder, but police.
You?
Oh, yeah.
Back when you have a dude sitting in a house just shooting at you, just shot like 5 cops and shit. You bust down the door and he's sitting there cowering in the corner like a bitch crying. Way back when, without body cams, I guarantee you, headline says suspect
dead or
killed in
alive.
shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Because the news got out and everybody who was in that room went, "Damn, y'all see him pull that gun? Shit."
Yeah. Did you see that revolver get pulled out? What revolver? That revolver.
It tosses
Yeah.
it down. That one. Because that's
revolver?
the way of human beings.
What revolver? The extra one that I carry that I only touch with the glove.
Wait, who was?
Oh, you don't. No.
Oh,
You don't
fucking.
carry it. It's left in the glove compartment from the evidence locker. That mysteriously, when you were doing the evidence locker
No.
change out, managed to end up in your glove compartment.
Have you guys ever watched Soviet Womble?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Dude, his armor one where he levels a fucking village. It's the perfect. It's
It
the
is
perfect example.
literally-
Levels a village full of civilians, and then they walk up and he goes, "Wait, that one had a gun, right?" And they throw down a gun. And he goes, "Yep, see there it is."
But Soviet. That's a NATO issued M16. No, it's not. It's an AK-47 in what is it, in asterisks, AK-47 over the M16.
But that is like the perfect example
and then
of
you,
what
but then
humans
you had
do.
that one motherfucker. I am willing to testify against my squad leader in exchange for
Yeah,
immunity.
he gets beat with soap and socks.
He died valiantly in the retreat.
Yeah, he died valiantly.
Yeah, that guy gets the soap special.
No, let
No,
No.
he gets the 45
yeah,
special.
like that motherfucker dies in his sleep.
No, he doesn't leave the field. If something like that happens and dude stands there and goes, "Yeah, no, this ain't right, guys. I'm reporting this." They're all gonna look at each other, shoot the dude, and go, "Huh? Well, what kind of medal should he get? Silver Star? Okay. Yeah, we'll make up a story.
You're not wrong. The sad part is you're really not wrong. I've heard.
Maybe not in American military, but in a lot of the world, that's how life is.
Even in the American
No,
militaries.
like America.
We
No,
can't
like
lie.
you said,
Russia.
American military, you'll just get your shit kicked out of you.
Well, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of military people, and even I've heard stories of generals, or even just generals, but even further down the train, like your drill sergeants, getting the shit kicked out of them in the field for doing that exact thing. Like, I'm gonna report you. Whole squadron will turn around and go, okay. Later on that night.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
like later on that night, while he's tucked up in bed, 4 guys are holding the sheets down and swinging at him.
You get blanket parties for a lot less than that.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you openly say, "Hey, I'm gonna testify against you guys," and you don't run, you're gonna wish you had.
I've heard stories
Like
of,
Russia in World War
You're gonna
II,
regret it
I've
later.
heard some
Here's a question,
fucking
guy.
and the
stories.
commander shot the soldiers.
Any blanket parties out of your platoon while you were in basic?
You can neither confirm or
I
deny.
don't think so. No, there was. I'm trying how to word
Yeah.
this.
Well, you sleep pretty soundly, don't you?
No, I think the funniest story I have from the middle of the night was these 2 kids who fucking hated each other. Well, I have 2, but these 2 kids couldn't stand each other, and you're not allowed out of your racks at night. Like, that's one of the rules. So we're all fucking sleeping, and these 2 are just talking shit from like 2 racks away. So there's like one dude in one rack, 2 more separating them, and then the other one, and they're just sitting there talking shit the whole fucking time.
Honestly, did it
We
sound
have
like
this
Step
instructor.
Brothers?
Here's the
Yes.
question:
Yes.
How would anybody have known? How would your DIs have known had you actually left the rack?
Because they walk around, and I'm getting to that. So they're sitting there talking shit, and all of a sudden, all we hear from one of them is he gets a little louder and he goes, "Bitch, I will bend you over and fuck you raw." And all of a sudden, you hear from behind him, "Who you gonna fuck, boy?" And there's it's called a kill hat, and he's in charge of punishments. And he's just standing there right behind him with his fucking wide ass eyes.
Oh, bro.
He's like, "Who you gonna fuck, boy?"
The fact that you...
And everybody within like a 5 to 10 rack radius just buzzed, like the whole fucking squad bay woke up and just started laughing.
Bro, the fact that you just said it was like Step Brothers, now I've got it in my head like, I fucking hate you. I'm gonna kill you.
That's what it was. They were literally just sitting there going, "You're a fucking bitch, bro. Nah, you're a bitch, bro. I'm gonna beat your ass. No, fuck you, pussy." I'm like, guys, go to fucking...
I'm gonna...
And
I'm
then
gonna rub
there
my
he is.
nuts on your drum set,
Oh,
bitch.
shit. I'm gonna rub my nuts on your M16, bitch. Well, my M16's a
Okay,
guy.
so imagine them 2 doing that. And then just a fucking pissed off drill instructor at fucking midnight just fucking picks his head up and he's just like, "Who you gonna fuck?"
I'm a nut in your ejection port, nigga.
Oh, man, I'm crying. I'm gonna rub my nuts
Dude,
out
it
on your
was
drum set.
fucking... And then all you hear is the instructor go, "You'll find out who's getting fucked in the morning. I'll see you." And then he just walked away. Needless to say, that guy saw the quarter deck quite a bit.
Everybody hide the holes.
All right, second story, guy. You said you had 2. Go ahead. Second story.
Oh, second story is how I got squad leader.
Oh,
Please enlighten me.
Please do
Middle of the
tell.
night. It's probably like 2 a.m. and during boot camp you do these rotations. Every hour you have a fire watch.
Yep.
So it kind of goes around, but you usually pick it up like every 2 to 3 nights you have a watch. So the current squad leader was on watch from 01 to 02, and at 02 he went to wake up the other kid, the next one on watch. And he's like, "Hey, get up. It's time for watch. Hey, get up." And I'll be honest, he was saying it loud enough to wake a few people up. So we're like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. Like, just wake his ass up." And he hits the kid, like kind of slaps him, and he goes, "Get your fucking hillbilly ass out of the goddamn rack before I hang you by your neck." Now, mind you, the kid's white, so it wasn't that bad.
So it wasn't that bad, he says.
This kid wakes up and fucking picks the guy up by his neck. And mind you, he was a good, 7-8 inches taller than him. Picks the little dude up and just pins him against the wall. Looks at him and goes, "Call me the hillbilly one more time." And half of us are sitting there going, "That's what you picked up out of all that? You didn't like being called hillbilly?" He's sitting here holding dude against the fucking steel, like a concrete post, just fucking "Call me hillbilly again." We're like, wait, all that other stuff didn't bother you, but hillbilly?
Hey,
He was
I
a
guess.
fucking dude. He was a hillbilly though. He was like the classic country fed.
It was
fucking
corn-fed, I'm
Texan.
guessing.
So how do you get squad leader out of a guy almost strangling your fucking squad mate against the post?
Because the dude who woke up was the squad leader. Was the squad leader. Because as soon as he woke up and, picked one of his squad members up by the neck, he kind of... So, yeah, they called me in the next day, and they're like, well, it was kind of weird. It was really weird, actually, because at the end of the day, you usually get about an hour of free time before you go to bed.
Free
So
time?
I'm sitting there...
What is this, the fucking Marines? Or what is this, the Navy, rather?
Yeah. No, you get an hour. But most of the time,
I
they
thought it
give
was
you stuff
Coast
to do.
Guards.
So they're like, hey, you have to have this ready for tomorrow, this ready for tomorrow. Like, go get all that done. So it's not really crazy.
You have free time, but it's directed free time.
Yes.
It's like mandatory fun days.
So I'm sitting there. I got all my shit done. I'm writing letters home. And one of the other squad leaders comes up to me and he goes, hey, follow me real quick. And I'm like, okay. And I get up, waddle, and he walks to the bathroom. And at this point, I'm going, okay, what did I do wrong? Like, I'm gonna get my shit fucking kicked in. Why am I going to the bathroom with this dude? Fucking go into the back of the showers. Well, we went to the last shower bay, all the way in the back. And there's the guide and the other, so the 3 squad leaders and the guide. And they're like, hey, you want to be a squad leader? I was like, wait. So I'm not getting my ass kicked? Yeah, sure. Fuck yeah. And yeah, because he got fired that day. So the guy told him I should be squad leader, and I got
basically, it was like a Saturday. They had to run errands, kind of day.
Dude, it was weird. I honestly, I was like, damn, I'm gonna get my shit kicked in. But mind you, I had already been there for 3 months, and all those guys had only been there for 2. So I kind of had some lead on them.
Yeah, you were just about done, and they still had their crucible and shit to go through.
Well, no, because I was an MRP, so I was just on base longer. I knew how to deal with them. You could tell I had been there longer than them. And even my fucking...
So what is MRP? Please do explain. I'm not fully up.
MRP is medical rehabilitation. So I got hurt, I dropped out, went to MRP, rehab, and then got back into training. So what happens is they drop you at a certain day in training. And then once you're healed up and you're ready to go back to training, they put you back with whichever company is on that day of training.
Okay.
So I got dropped out, went to MRP, so I'd been there already an extra month at that time. But it's a clear difference because even while you're in the medical platoon, you still have drill instructors there. You still have to have a sense of urgency. Like, you're not a human being. You're still a recruit. So
you haven't earned your human status yet.
Yeah. So I had time to, master how to roll my sleeves and all these little details that made a difference when I went back to training that you could tell I'd been there a hot minute.
Yeah.
Tell you what though, that was a fucking defeater. When I'm walking there with my new fucking company and I'm like, hey, I'm glad to be back in training, and I see the company I was with graduating. I was like, God damn, that's fucked.
You ended up in boot camp a month longer than everybody else, you poor son of a bitch.
Yeah, and then I did the crucible with a fucking busted knee.
Oh. What'd you end up doing to your knee?
Had a cyst. My kneecap was misplaced. I pretty much blew it out.
Oh,
a couple of the muscles were fucking seized.
No, this is a common question. Isn't that actually a common injury though? Like kneecaps being fucked by the end of training? was gonna
Yeah.
say because like the amount
Kneecaps,
of shit you go through.
shins. Yeah, okay, so I was 120-pound little 5'4", carrying like a 90-pound pack
Oh.
everywhere I went.
5'4"?
I'm not that tall. I'm a short little fucker.
You were short, stocky fucker
Dang,
like me.
How
Then.
am I
6'2".
taller than you, you fuck? Oh my damn, I'm taller than
6'2".
you.
I think I'm like 5'5" now, but
I am 5'9". How the fuck
Don't
am I
say me,
taller
I'm
than you?
6'2".
yeah, no. But so yeah, dude, I looked like a fucking tortoise with the pack on. I'm walking around like a fucking
Looking like
yeah.
a turtle fucking stood up on its hind legs.
Yeah. It was actually a good timing though. Did I tell someone? I told someone the Skittle story.
Oh, what's the Skittle story?
I'm sorry, the what guy?
I thought I told
But
you,
before-
Aiden.
But before
No.
we tell the Skittle story,
Homegrown alligator, see you later. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road. The sun ain't changing the atmosphere, architecture unfamiliar. I could get used to this. Time flies by and the yellow and green stick around and you'll see what I mean. There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know where I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun, feeling like a someone. South of the equator, navigator, gotta hit the road, gotta hit the road.